Hey guys, Art13131, and we are in week 10, down here at the end of the term, very close to the end of the term. As you can see, the last week, week 11, is finished prior assignments, and giving you some time to do that week without any new assignments. So week 10 is the last assignment. Talk about number 18 today, which is Introduction to Color. Now, this could mean various things. It could mean painting, color painting. If you have painted, or maybe you just want to experiment, it's kind of a fun one. I just want you to experiment with color. Wow, wind chimes are going nuts. I picked the right day to come out here, huh? Whew. I hope you can hear me. May have to move away from that one. It's getting windy. And there's the color drawings, which basically you're using colored pencils or whatnot, or pastels to paint. You can just go in here and find all kind of different ideas. It doesn't have to be one of these. You can do whatever you want. The thing with color is you need to shade as well with it. So when you're using one color or another, like let's say this face. So there's various lights and darks with using the tan base, or a little yellow is added here and there, a little, maybe some red here, and then you have some darker, maybe that's a gray, or a slight black is used. With colored pencils, you can sort of blend them together. If you don't saturate it, you kind of go soft with it. But you will need to have darker and lighter areas when you do this. And that's a good way to get that together, is by picking a base of, a tan. Tans can be made with yellow and black, or if you have a full set of colored pencils, then you probably have a tan or variations of tan and maybe some darker ones. So try that. Or if you have pastels or chalk, um, chalk pastels, there's oil pastels as well. So both of them work a little differently. If you have worked with them before, you have some, go ahead and try that too. And the chalk pastels blend pretty well. So do the oils, but it's in a different way. They act more like paint. You can move them like paint with your finger too. If you get enough oil pastel on the paper, you can smudge it with your finger and it'll make marks and different things go on, which is pretty cool. With the chalk, you can smudge around and blend with your finger too. So that's a good way to blend things and kind of smudge them in and change what you're doing back and forth. But try to shade what you're using too. Oh my God, that wind. Try to shade what you're doing, like this skull. There's dark and light areas to it to give it the shape. They're using reds and oranges and whites and yellows and maybe even some blue here mixed in with red in different areas. So that's how they're getting the shading done without graphite, is by using maybe two colors together that make a darker uh, tint or shade in that color. Yeah, and that's how they're getting that done. I'll provide a video on mixing some paints and stuff if you have never done it before. Little watercolor, a little acrylic, kind of the beginning things, just mixing the primaries, not getting into real heavy painting. If you're good at painting already, you probably know how to do that already, using other colors to make darker versions of different colors. It's kind of more at an advanced class. This is beginning, and if you haven't done that before, then you just want to experiment. You're going to use the primaries that make secondaries. and that'll all be shown in the videos. So, you can go down here and look at all these. Some are abstract and some aren't. Some are, more literal depiction of something, or realistic impressionism, a little bit, and then totally abstract like this or this. But make it interesting, Don't just put two colors down and go, oh, there, I did it. Let's put some effort into this, and try to get something that's semi-interesting when you're doing an abstract. Really delve. Try to be creative in an abstract way. If you need to watch a video on that, go to YouTube and put in abstract painting and learn about it, or whatever you're going to be using, expressionism or whatever. So this is kind of a take on abstract, because it's not perfect. It's an not abstract, impression. But you can have abstract impressions. You can have uh, expression in an abstract way as well. So you want to look those things up. Fine, if you want to be more literal, then do something like this. But see all the darks and lights in the greens and the yellow in there, and maybe some blue some places from the sky kind of going down into here, which would make a unity from the sky and the green. You might have added a little blue to have a bluish grass instead of a yellow grass. So yellow green and blue greens. And all in the trees too. There's lights and darks in all these trees. It's not just one color. It's back and forth, and this is going to give you the shape involved in a tree. So these trees look like they're more 3D because there's dark in the background, light on the top. But you can do that with paint. When you're using colored pencils, you might want to work the opposite way, using some light areas and then putting dark areas in over that or with it. And also there's shading on the eaves of the barn and everything. So if you want to use something like that, and then don't forget your 2-point perspective that we worked on, because that's going to take a play into that. But, anything's possible, right? There's like 4 cubes of different color schemes, and then you have something flying in the sky here. Looks like dolphins to me, but I could be really wrong about that. That looks like a dolphin. And, and things going around and stuff. Nobody knows exactly what it is, and it's supposed to provoke thought and an impression of what you think this is, and that's a lot of artists do that. I do that in my ceramic sculptures. You can get really very abstract with it here. So, and it's almost surrealistic. So all those are art movements. Whatever you want to delve into, go ahead and do it. Even something like this is just variations of tints and shades of one color, which are now bringing in a bunch of other shades, tints and shades of that color. You can maybe do this too. It would be better if you're working with a little bit more color, but that's okay. And then the drawings. Let me see if I can put pastel. And here's the chalk ideas and pastel, which are pretty cool, and they're quick to work with sometimes. Lots of ideas. You can go in here and to Bing and put all kind of color pencil drawings, color pastel drawings, paintings, and get all kind of ideas of what you might want to do, and then pick something that you are happy with and color. But I want to see the whole thing, not just a little bit of color in the middle or something. I want the whole thing painted up or colored up, okay? Okay, and then we're going to talk about the other things, the other 2 assignments, which would be introduction to figure drawing, and I'll show you what that means. And you can take a stab at it. And then we're going to have a fun one here about dance or drama or theater or music, and I'll talk about that either tomorrow or Thursday. All right. If you have A lot of assignments back here, from way back here and in. Start getting those to me, I would say immediately, because we only have 2 more weeks, okay? And then after that, after week 11 on Sunday, I'm not going to accept anymore. I have to post my grades actually the week after that. So you've got to get this stuff into me if you want to pass the class.